Well, good morning, Bob.
Good morning, Bill.
This morning we're in the middle of summer and rates are headed up.
Temperatures are headed up.
Temperatures are way up. They're already there. Rates are headed up with the temperatures. And the Fed is talking about tapering on their bond buying program.
Yeah, of course, they keep saying, well, we're still on track to do it someday in the future.
So first, will it happen in September?
Well, no.
Okay. We gotta get down to a yes, a no, or a maybe, and so it's like no.
No.
Okay.
No.
How about December?
I don't think so. I think, honestly, even though they kept saying that it's going to be before the end of the year, I think that it's probably going to be the first quarter of next year because there's just the economy is just not that strong. It's just not.
Are we going to have one more little refinance boom here if they don't taper?
Well, bond prices went surging up the end of last week.
That's true.
So
but
the rates go down.
So will we have another little refinance boomlet before the end of the year? You think?
I don't think so.
You think it's just steady as she goes?
Yeah, it's just going to bounce along for a while. There are a lot of things that are going on. First of all, one of the early indicators of how housing is going to do is the number of new home sales.
Oh, that's not good.
It was down significantly, and
the adjusted rate was like 384 a year, 384,000 units a year.
Right, and the thing about that is that new home sales are counted when the contract's signed for the building.
Right.
Whereas existing home sales are when it's actually
done.
Right,
when it closes.
And so new home sales are sort of a pre-indicator of what's going on. Now, existing home sales were up, but the expectation is that just like new home sales in July, in August, existing home sales will be down.
Well, affordability has to be less. It's got to be, right? Because monthly payments up. Although we're still at historically low rates.
Well, yeah, we are, but despite that, we're still having our inventory is still low.
How much of that, in your opinion, is investor-driven? So that investors came in and depleted the inventory. Yeah, at least what was available. Right. Now the shadow inventory is still out there. Right. So we have more supply dumped on the market.
Yeah, and all this talk about the higher interest rates, the higher prices, we talked about that last time. I think those are overstating how high the prices are. The actual increase in prices isn't nearly that strong. And in fact, Zillow came out this past week and said that they felt like Case-Shiller was way overstating the price increase. So they're agreeing with us in terms of a lower price increase.
It's all supply and demand. If you've been out drinking and the donut store just has a few donuts left, that's a valuable donut.
Exactly.
But if I've got a bunch of donuts, that's cheap. You don't worry about it so much. But if it's one of the last few donuts left in the store and you need a donut, get your sugar fix and.
Yeah, that's the thing. You can be confused by the statistics. In 2012, housing starts were up 28%, or quite a lot.
But that's like off of a low.
Fourth lowest in record.
So percentage increase.
It was really good.
Exactly.
But, it's got a long ways to go. So, and housing is the precursor of a lot of things in the market, and housing is still weak. It's just still weak.
There's a lot been written about, this is all related to our discussion about the Fed and interest rates, a lot written about Bernanke's legacy. And he's been at the helm now for 8 years. And so he's really done a lot of experiments.
He has, because
there's nothing written.
It's pretty unprecedented, although the best model for what's been going on is what happened in Japan. And we basically made a lot of the same mistakes that Japan has continues to make, and Bernanke has tried to counter a lot of that. He was he studied Japan a good bit, and he studied the recession. He was an academic; that was part of his academic research, and so he knew some of the problems, some of the pitfalls. But as head of the Fed, there's only so much you can do because money supply doesn't control everything.
Well, and he experimented.
Sure.
And the results have been mixed. If you look at what has happened to the financial system, largely it has healed. Now, it's not doing extremely well, but it's healed.
Yeah.
We don't think it's going to die now and go away.
No, I mean, household deleveraging occurred, and that's pretty much stabilized. The local economies, in terms of state and local government, I mean, they massively cut back on their expenditure, but that's now stabilized.
That's right.
The credit has loosened over time. The Fed's has intimated that they're going to stop buying bonds, but they're not going to do it anytime soon.
They're just trying to signal to the market that,
right.
Look, we're going to do this.
Right,
we're going to do it.
And so, by and large, you're right, the economy has somewhat stabilized and recovered.
Growth has not returned, however.
It has not.
Unemployment's still very high by historical standards.
Right.
And it's not just unemployment, it's underemployment as well.
Right, and the number of unemployment applications was up last month, So, we're at a flat area now, and I'm afraid going into the fall and winter, we're going to stay flat, down a little bit. The NBA forecasts are not good.
Way down. They're down 10% this year, with most of the decline occurring in the second half.
Right.
And then next year down another 30%.
Right.
But that does not include home equity. So I think we'll see some home equity come back up as equity values come up.
Right, but the refis, because of the interest rates going up, refis in 2012 were almost 3 times as many refis in 2012 as there were purchases. And in 2013, it looks like it's going to be about 1.5 times as much. But they're projecting for 2014. The NBA is to be fewer than half, so the purchases are going to be twice as great as the refis, and the purchases aren't going up.
We'll see if they revise that forecast.
Well, let's hope so.
I mean, if you go back and look, even in areas, years of high interest rates, you still had a significant portion of refis.
Yeah, of course, you would see those fluctuations. We have been at historically unbelievable lows now for a long time. And so a large amount of the refi capability is gone. Although I've seen several forecasts that say that there's still over 1 million properties out there that could legitimately be refinanced, and they just haven't been done, haven't happened.
They may have a short duration. They may just not want to refinance, but just...
It's funny that, I was talking to some people at the VA a year or so ago, and they were saying that as hard as they try, they cannot get all of their VA loans to refi, even though some people are paying 8, 9, 10% interest on their VA loans.
Well, maybe a small balance.
Small balance, or just
the hassle
inertia.
Hassle of refinancing.
Right.
So, Bernanke, if he waits until January to taper, he'll be out.
Right.
And so it'll be somebody else's problem.
That's certainly the speculation. Right? You never know.
So ideally, if you were at the helm, that's what you probably want to do, right? Make sure the economy had plenty of liquidity and give it the problem to somebody else.
Exactly, yeah.
So, anyway, is there anything else you want to say today?
Have a good week.
This is FNC's Morning View. I'm Bill Rayburn with Bob Dorsey. You all have a fantastic week.